set to make his ring walk, the reigning, defending, unified heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony Joshua.
He took me down the boxing gym, and that was as a hobby. I just went down. I used to drive down with him, and then it was like, yeah, I could do this boxing. This is easy. And I think I just used to get my head punched in, and it was like, whoa. And it's a hobby that got out of hand, and I think then it's the loyalty that my coaches have shown me. As I said, my amateur coaches have like dedicated weekdays, weekends to me when I was 18, 19, driving me up and down the country to come and fight and train in different places. So I was like, how can I not pay them back by being disciplined myself?
And like you're in there and like you're just zoned in with your opponent and you're thinking, I can't afford to make a mistake. And I just think all they're waiting for is me to make one mistake. So I'm going for every second of those 3 minutes in each round thinking, oh, I've got to be switched on, I've got to be switched on, I've got to be switched on. And then when I win, that feeling, that after fight feeling is like, whew, I got the job done. You know, it's just like honestly like a big relief. Because I think a lot of people want to see me victorious. They don't want to see me flat on my back. And that's normally the way it goes in heavyweight boxing.
Training's one thing, but then mentally, I think no matter what you do in life, you've got to be mentally strong. Even like, you know, the most what people call successful people in the world can have nervous breakdowns and stuff like that. You've got to be so tough mentally. And I think that's what kind of spurred me on at the early stages in that. Like when I first started boxing, I think I was fighting for about 3.5 years, and it was just like from the amateurs to the Olympics, and I was a pro. So they always chucked me in the deep end, and it was either swim or sink. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how I've dealt with it. And I had to be mentally strong. And like it's just, early on with boxing, I'm not too sure if there's many amateur boxers, but it's just you and your goal, innit? It's no one else really bothers, if you know where I'm coming from. Like you're just fighting with it's you and your coach and your teammates, and that's it. So when we were grinding and putting in the work, you just got to be mentally strong that you know that you're going to try and win the ABAs and then win the GB championships, Europeans, and you're just going to keep on going. But it's all about you and your dream at that stage. So you've got to be mentally strong from early, I think, to keep on going. Because I've always said, even when I fought Brazil, that's why like I don't like parading with the belts, because I always say that the belts don't make me. Like without the belts, I was training like a champion. Do you know where I'm coming from? So when I used to watch, the best way to describe it is you would watch Tyson, Holyfield, these guys, and Sugar Ray Leonard when we were 18. Watch them throw a combination on the bag, try to do it in the gym. So what I mean by that is you would try and train like the champions. So now that the belts are involved, it don't make me any different because I always had that hunger. So it's just something that being around the old school, ingrained in the new school, and then I just take it with me. So I won't lose that hunger, and I think with or without boxing, I'll still be on my hustle, trying to make something. It's just the way life goes, really. It's not just about boxing, it's who you are. And that's even in that fight with Klitschko. Styles make fights, it was a tough fight. And in a fight like that, it's about who you are. Because when you're knackered and your skills go out the window and everything you've been learning goes out the window, it's a test of character as well as skill. So it's just who you are.
And that's why one of my sayings is, never let success get to your head and never let your failures get to your heart. It's all about keeping a balance and moving forward, and that's the mindset that I have to keep. It's tough, you know, when you lose sometimes, you know, it feels like it rips away a part of you, but for me, as I said, I'm never going to switch up and change on anyone. I'm still the same me, still ambitious, and I'm still going to walk with my head held high like a champion, because boxing is a part of my life and I'm a champion at heart. And I apply that and adapt that in the ring.